Hi there. It's September, and this is Trisha Broderick with Ignite Insight Innovation, coming with the next first Friday of the month's live. And hopefully, I have a neighbor that's redoing their roof, and hopefully, we won't hear the pounding. All of a sudden, I feel like that's all I can hear is the pounding. So, hopefully, that doesn't come through. But if it does, then you'll know what that is. It's my neighbor's roof. And it works out that way. It happens. So today's topic, I'm super excited about. And honestly, I'm most excited about it because I get to have this discussion with somebody I highly respect and has become a friend to me. But it's a topic I can't speak to anymore. And so it's something that I do have to lean on other people to help share their stories. And that is what it feels like and what it means and to start speaking. I've been speaking for a really long time, publicly at different conferences, at other companies and in different venues and trainings. But what it's like at that start of that journey and what it means to start being a speaker and what that's like. So today, I don't have to just stare at my computer. Today, I get to talk to my friend, Elena. Welcome.
Hi, Trisha. Thank you for having me.
Thanks. I'm so excited. I will acknowledge some of it's about the topic, some of it's about you, and some of it's just about not doing this by myself. It's a little combination of all three of it with it. But thank you for joining and thank you for being willing to do this. It's huge because it is something I can't speak to anymore, or at least not where I rewrite the history, right? It happened so long ago that I tell myself a different story than what maybe it really was. So thank you for joining in on today and as we go live. With this. Now, just a reminder, we are live on a couple different places, but we won't see many things come in. We're just going to broadcast and just talk as if we don't know anybody else is listening to us, which sometimes makes this a little less weird. We'll just talk to each other with it. So do you want to give a little bit of background of just, who you are and where you, if you want to share where you work and things like that, but just a little bit about yourself first. And so people can hear about you first, and then we'll dive into the topic at hand.
Sure. Well, I'm a Scrum Master and Agile coach and just passionate Agilist. I think that even though I mentioned it last, it's the biggest thing about me. I really care about Agile and helping team and organization embrace it. I've been doing it for a while now, maybe 8 years, but who counts? And last year I decided to get outside of my comfort zone and try public speaking for several reasons, but it was my big first experience. So yeah, that's me, I guess, in a nutshell.
Well, you actually highlighted, so this is going to be a little bit different. I get to interview instead of having to give the content myself. So I love it. You actually mentioned something, and I'm curious about it. What were some of the reasons that you wanted to get out of your comfort zone, and specifically out of your comfort zone as it relates to public speaking? What was some of the motivations for you?
Well, it's actually a very loaded question, and it evolved as I was going through preparation and reflecting back at what was happening to me. Originally, I thought my main motivation was growth and embracing something that I am scared of. You know, this joke about fear of death, fear of public speaking, and fear of death while public speaking. So, that's me.
That was you. I got it.
Yes, and I decided it took me a long time to get ready to it, and then the opportunity presented. So there was a deadline for submission of the papers, which I didn't have. So it had to happen real quick. So I submitted to speak in Global Gathering, a Scrum Alliance event this summer. And surprisingly, actually shockingly, was accepted. And then there was no changing my mind. So I committed to it.
Nice. Well, in some
And
ways, it probably helped not having a lot of time between making a decision and having to submit the app because you couldn't overthink it a bit. You probably just had to get it in, right?
yes, yes. And then over time, it changed. So I think it's when you just look at it as yourself and doing it for yourself, um, it's not that meaningful. And through working, preparing for the public speaking event, I reflected, and thanks to you and other people that I spoke to, it turned into, well, maybe there's another me just in the beginning of the career. And it turned into helping others in some way if I can. Maybe just falling on my face in public.
Which
will
you did
encourage
not
somebody.
do, which you did not do.
Yes, that was not a surprise.
Well, I mean, I think that a lot of people probably experience that. I mean, I even did too. I remember that to start, it was an alternate source. Like I didn't have the fear, right? But it was an alternative source of energy for me that I could focus on me. I could do a little bit for me, but it quickly did turn into how was I helping other people or, that meaning for it. So that's not surprising that you figured that out way faster than I did. But like, that's a pretty common dynamic of something that you're challenging yourself. And then you quickly realize that, yes, you're still challenging yourself, but there's value beyond that in doing those kinds of things. With that. So let me ask you this then. So you submitted to Scrum Gathering. You said, okay, I'm going to submit to this. How did you think of your topic? Like, what did you do to consider your topic?
It's something that I'm passionate about, that I do, and try to figure out over time what Scrum Mastery actually is about. So my topic was science, art, and magic of Scrum Mastery. So it was very personal, and I tried to include things that were not obvious in the beginning, and vulnerable about failures. And because it was close to my heart, it just organically happened.
So we will have an endless number of people that says, I can't speak because I'm not the biggest expert in this. Somebody else will do it better and things like that. What would you say to that person now having done this, right? Like having submitted to speak, doing it on something that was super personal and things. What would you tell them with that for that fear that they might have?
Well, I was that person, and you heard me saying exact same words actually. And it's okay not to be an expert, but I think the most valuable thing that just knowing is sharing your story. And the second one, the term expert. What does it really mean in agile world? Like, you become an expert, here's the medal. I mean, and that's all. Like, it's very relative. I think that when you actually apply a growth mindset, there is very unclear line. And if you consider yourself an expert, well, what does that mean?
So let's give people some little bit of going forward to the day. You're there. You're going to be speaking. What was surprising? What was disappointing? Like, what was the day like for you? Your first time speaking?
Well, I spoke on the last day of the conference, and it might be different if it's first day, right? So there are pros and cons, but it's something that we don't have control over. So all the days of the conference leading to the event, I let myself worry and be scared and be okay with that. But the day before, I decided that it does disservice, and I am here I'm here for something more than me, right? Not just, oh, I'll present and I will grow, right? It was about sharing my story, my experience with other people. And I really wanted it to be as valuable as it's possible and refocusing on, okay, well, you've been nervous enough. Now it's time to put, and yes, I actually mentally just decided that it's not time. I can pick it up later after it happens. And the day was very peaceful and organized. I don't know. It was just, I was collected. I wasn't nervous. First thing in the morning, I went into the conference room that I will be presenting. Spent some time there, thought about, try to feel how it will feel, right? It made it even easier. And then I knew that there will be people that I connected with on the previous days. They will come and be there for me. So just mentally trying to imagine things that will happen helped a lot.
I think that's one of the big fears is like, what if nobody shows up? I still speak all these years. I'll still have that. Like, nobody's going to show up, right? So, asking a few of the friends or knowing when your friends or other people you've met that are going to be there, it does help kind of ease that ease that anxiety and things like that. So, how did it go? What was the like? So, you spoke. How'd you feel at the end? Like, I'm sure it didn't go perfectly, right? Like, something happened, but yet, how did overall, like, how was it? Like, what did you feel like at the end?
So reflecting back, it was the scariest and the best thing I did in my professional life so far. And I did not feel much when it happened. It just did. But because so much led into it, it's like for those people who hike mountains, like residents of Colorado, you can probably relate. You take on your 14er. It's a really tall mountain, and you look from the base, and it seems like unachievable. But because it wasn't just an event, there was a lot of preparation that led to it. It was meeting milestones or this like intermediate points, and then you are on the mountain. You look back and you just enjoy the view and think about what's next.
Already looking for that next challenge. So would you be interested in doing it again, do you think?
I definitely would, but it's been a very special event. So I'll probably do something different, a different session.
Yeah, to hold on to that. I think a lot of speakers have like that first moment, that first event, that first situation and whatnot. I will say that I had to miss it because I was flying back to Michigan and for something, and I was getting these photos from people. Um, the commentary and the feedback, was just incredible in terms of that you did show up, just putting it all out there and saying this is clearly with your purpose, right? Like trying to help other people by sharing your experiences. That came through based on everything I had heard with those things. So for that person, that might be where you sometimes even still feel right now, right? Like, oh my gosh, I'm going to do it again. What topic am I going to pick, right? Like things like that. What would be maybe like a couple top tips that you would give to that person who's considering speaking to have the positive experience, challenging but positive experience that you've had? What would be some we'll end it here, but like what will be some couple big tips that you would give for people to help them on this journey?
So first thing, and I think it's 90% of success is finding a person who already did it or who does professional coaching in this area, like yourself, and just not do it alone, because I would never know how much water I would need during the speech, even though I practiced and recited it. But there are certain things that you just don't know, and there are small tips that valuable tips that you will receive that you cannot just know before it happens. So I wanted to take a second and thank you, Trisha, for being that person for me, my Sherpa.
That was not the goal of this.
I just cannot ignore it, because having a person just by you, walking your journey, even though they did this many times before, it helps. It gives confidence and the support that you need. And then the second tip is if you are not having people in the room or having people that will come and show up for you, or even if they are not present, they will text you in the morning that you already won, that can be the game changer. I mentioned already the tip about water. Just get 3 gallons, I don't know, 3 glasses of water sitting somewhere, because surprisingly, you cannot speak. It just mouth gets so dry. And don't take yourself too serious. Like I was after it happened. It's really hard, but the mindset that really helps is, first, what are you doing it for, right? Refocusing from yourself. Stop helps to get out of the unhealthy nerves. The other one is, even if things go really poorly, then what? People won't probably even remember your name, your face, and it's not the end of the world. And just come with a mindset and maybe highlight that it's your first event. And people like Agile community is the best community that you can do it with, because they all are aware of growth mindset and learning by failure, and they will be there. They will support you, and people can surprise you. And I'm very grateful for this part, meeting amazing people, making connections, seeing people who show up for you.
I love it. And honestly, experienced speakers need to listen to all those tips too. Like, we always need to remember that a lot of those elements, and there is a dynamic of that feeling, right? That getting to be together and support each other, which does give some hope for humanity of what that is. So thank you for coming on. Thank you for talking with people and sharing that, because I think there are just too many voices out there that we need to be hearing from. And I'm tired of hearing me. We need more Elenas and more other people out there and sharing those experiences and putting that information out there, because you and I could both say the exact same thing, and someone needs to hear it from you, not from me. And we don't know who we might impact with those things. So this continues to be a goal of mine, is to help other people get their voices heard and to share those experiences and be able to process that. And I look forward to hearing what you're going to do next, now that you have speaker as one of your roles, and what you're going to be sharing. But mostly, it's just been an incredible journey, and I've been honored to be a part of it. And so thank you watching that and awesome tips for people. So thank you everybody for today. And I have stuff coming up, but that's not what today is about. Today is just about branching out and doing new things and trying that. And today's focus is Elena. So until October, till we see each other the next time. Otherwise, Elena, I wish you all the best. And thank you again. And congrats, because it was pretty amazing watching this journey for you.
Thank you, Trisha. Thank you for having me today and everything that you did for me.
Bye, everyone.
Bye all.